Yo.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Yeah.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to... not going to give it an episode number.
We don't do that now.
Welcome to the 365 Flicks podcast. You know the deal by now. We are back with a new episode. This episode is a special episode because Chris and I took a trip down to the big windy city. Windy
Chicago.
City? Chicago. It's basically
Chicago.
It's England, Chicago.
It's not, is it?
What would you say London is? Like England's New York?
See, it's England's London.
England's London.
You fud.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound as good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went down to London to see a very special cast and crew screening of a movie we have been following for some time.
England's Edinburgh, only not as good.
In England's Glasgow.
That'll do. Yeah, so, Homeless Ashes.
Homeless Ashes, man. Like, damn, we finally got to see Marc Zammits' passion project, which we were very, very, very surprised and loved. It was a great movie.
It certainly was.
It certainly was.
Hell of an experience.
It was,
The whole
man.
thing was just, like, surreal.
BAFTA, dude.
Yeah, I know.
BAFTA, like that might not sound like there's people out there that listen to this podcast that are within the industry, and I know they are because like they talk to us and they comment and they say things and all that. So to them, this is like, oh, dude, BAFTA, I've been there like a million times. But to us, BAFTA is like, man, that's BAFTA.
Yeah, this is just Chris and Kev from 365 Flicks podcast.
Exactly.
And, you know, just a couple of movie fucking nerds
Yeah,
who got to go to BAFTA House
first and foremost,
to
movie
see
nerds.
a film.
A film, and it's one we've been following. We've had Mark on plenty of times to talk about the Homeless Ashes movie, the Indiegogo campaigns he's had every time he signed someone new onto the movie, and there we were.
There we were.
Awesome. It was cool. It was cool as balls. Like, I really enjoyed it, and getting to meet like the bulk of the cast as well. You know, some of the American guys weren't there. The Lou Temple wasn't there. Maria Howell wasn't there, but we had the likes of Dean Maskell, we had Angela Dixon, Hector was there for a little bit, Jamie May, who is fucking superb in the movie, the cast and crew. It was a great turnout. Richie Edwards, you know, this was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
I got a glimpse of how old I'm becoming though in the bar in the bar afterwards.
Yeah. You are getting old, mate.
Fuck you, you were the same.
I felt like I could cut it with the young'uns in London 10. Like, I felt like I could have...
Did you?
I did. I felt like, you know what, if I wasn't here with Chris, being a granddad, I could so cut it down here. Cut a rug with the youngsters.
Because you were looking sharp.
I was looking dapper. I was looking like a dabba Dan. Dabba Dan man.
That's plenty.
So anyway, before we go into the interview, which is what this show is, by the way, this episode is an interview with Mark, because we want to get him on and sort of talk about the kind of the journey, sort of the feeling that he now has, now that the film's kind of come out and things are happening with it, and so we got him on to talk about that. But before we get into the interview, you've got a job to do.
It's been a while.
It certainly has.
Yeah.
And you're doing it from the new studio.
Yeah. That's one thing we forgot to mention.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm bringing it up now.
All right.
That's kind of how that works.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Bring things
That'll
up,
do
talk
it.
about them.
We are in the brand new, shiny ass pod room.
You gotta get a new name.
I know.
You gotta think of something.
I'll keep thinking.
I mean, to be fair, I gave the last studio like several names.
You did.
None of them really stuck. But you've got to come up with a name, man.
I'll think on it.
Yeah.
I'll think on it. But yes, we are in a brand new, awesome as fuck studio that is all shiny and things.
Soundproofed.
Soundproofed.
See if that works when I edit.
Is it going to sound like roofied?
Eh?
Is it going to sound like roofied?
I'd be alright with it. Yeah, I'd be alright with it.
Well, what are you going to do? Yeah, but anyway, we want you guys to go to the Facebooks and go to the Twitters. Follow us on there. Just search for 365 Flicks Podcast. Don't forget to share us and follow us on all those bloody social media-y things. You can also look for us on the iTunes. Don't forget to leave us a cheeky 5-star review. Nothing else will do.
I'll take all 5.
That rhymes.
I'll take all 5.
All right, awesome. We're also on Spotify and any other third-party podcatching app.
Ooh, podcatching. It's going to strain my basket. Remember him? Yeah.
I do
Carry
not.
on.
You just looked really, really camp.
Go on.
Anyway, we're on a few cheeky networks.
We are.
We are on.
We've been kicked off a network.
Have we?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Happened yesterday.
We were kicked off a network?
Yeah.
Who the fuck would kick us off a
it's
network?
It's called the No Phony Podcast, and to be fair, right? To be fair, I'll be fair to them because we've never pimped them. To be honest, we never really have mentioned the network on the podcast. It's one of those ones that Joe Keaton, the awesome Joe Keaton, we love Joe Keaton of Dear Diary and Another Damn Wrestling Show, that show as well. So he was all like, dude, the Dear Diary official podcast is now on the No Phony Entertainment, No Phony Podcast Network. You should join. So I was like, okay, you know me, I like a new network. So I sent the thing. I was like, dude, take us on. We're awesome. We're better than Dear Diary. Take us on. Joe says you should take us because we're amazing. So they took us, added me into like a Slack group, added me into like a Twitter group, Facebook group, and to be fair, I've just ignored them. Like, they keep posting, and I've just pretty much ignored them. So I completely understand why they took us out of the group, considering I've not spoken to anybody in the group since the day I joined. But still, when I got the message, I was like...
Did you actually get a message saying we're removing you?
He was nice about it. It was nice. It's like, due to lack of conversing or whatever, due to lack of, like, chatting and whatever you want to call it, I don't know. And I messaged him and I was like, dude, fair enough, fair dues. I've not really been doing any of the pimping or anything like that. But in my head, I was like, fuck you.
And were you like, is this what it's like to be Chris?
Yeah, it kind of felt like being you. Yeah, it did. I mean, I get it. No Phony Network, no harm, no foul. They are a wicked network. They've got some amazing podcasts on there. I don't know any of them.
We're not going to plug them on.
Unofficial Dear Diary. I'll always plug Joe's podcast because their podcast's amazing. But other than that, like, yeah.
No, fuck them.
To be fair, we were probably the best thing on there.
Tell you which ones we are going to plug.
Go on then.
Tangipain Network.
Awesome.
I'm not going to plug Wicked Radio Network.
I think we can mention it, but let's not plug it.
No. We are on We Be Geeks.
We certainly are.
We are on...
Geeks Worldwide?
Yeah.
Yep. Nerdly, nerdly.co.uk.
Nerdly! It has been a while.
Philly Willy. That's our pal. Big Phil Wheat.
Hashtag Britpod Scene.
Britpod Scene.
Hashtag Pod and Family.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting any?
I lose track now. Like I say, they're throwing us off left, right, and centre.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
We're like a racist TV personality who's lost all the sponsorships.
Don't know who you're talking about, but that's fine.
I blame you.
But yeah, we're on all those networks and things and stuff and things. And follow them all. Find your podcasts. Find everything. But yeah, this episode is an interview with Marc Zammit. God damn it, Marc Zammit. And we're going to be talking about Homeless Ashes. No spoilers. And pretty much just figuring out where he's at.
Yeah.
And welcome to the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian.
Hey, Ian.
Yeah.
Did you know you could find us on the Danger Entertainment Network?
Danger?
Danger Entertainment. Yeah, that's right.
Sounds dangerous.
It is. It's a tad bit dangerous. You'd be shocked to find that out. There's a bunch of great podcasts you can find there. Our friends from the History of Bad Ideas podcast, Who the What Now, The Sodded Geek. No, they retired. That's right. They retired. But there are a bunch of other great podcasts you can find there, along with us. We're the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast, and we do pop culture and chili cheese dogs and whatever else floats our fancy.
Yeah.
Check us out.
For sure.
For sure. We're on most podcatchers, so give us a look.
Peace.
It's just like two Northerners just standing there with a beer, just looking around, going, "What's happening here?"
I went up to the bar and he was like, "This is a card only bar," and I was like, "A what? A what? A card only bar?"
And then he came back over and went, "Fucking London, man."
I made a point on the way to the bar. I was like, right, I need to go and get some cash out. Gets to the bar, don't take cash. Great. Awesome though, awesome.
Welcome to London. We only like card. Plastic. What did you think of BAFTA? Lovely venue, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was surreal.
Man, BAFTA.
That was just absolutely surreal.
That was, that was awesome.
Just kind of sat in the bar, gawping.
I see Chris's favourite picture.
I was literally it's quite cool because you're kind of walking along and I'm watching the Google Maps and I'm like, right, it's somewhere here, and then we saw the BAFTA sign above the door. I was like, oh man, here we go. And as soon as you walk in, you see that big gold mask. It's like shit, you just got real.
Yeah, it's like Game of Thrones. You just walked into King's Landing or something, didn't you?
But I mean that's how it felt for us. But it must have been amazing for you.
Yeah, it's all right. I've been.
Oh yeah, it was all right. It was all right.
I could take it or leave it.
I mean, I've screened my movie in better places, I guess, but
I've been to BAFTA like BAFTA 195 about 4 times.
Nice.
So I've kind of got used to it, if that makes sense. And I think previously with all the screenings and the premieres that I've been going to as well, it's just kind of been like I find it normal now, if that makes sense. I kind of just get used to it. It's just kind of going in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I get overwhelmed when I'm in quite a lot of big kind of crowds. I get quite overwhelmed because I think, oh gosh, I just kind of want to hide in the back. And you probably can tell by my speech on stage, I was just so nervous. I probably shat myself about 3 times. But,
it was pretty cool when Jamie came up to give you the bit of congratulations and everything. I don't think I've ever seen anybody just want to get off that stage so quickly.
Who, me or her?
You?
Oh yeah, you.
You're like, right, bar.
It's like, well, what's going on? Is it still happening? I was really thinking what I wanted to change about the film. I was like, all right, I already know what I want to edit. Craig, where are you? Should we come up to the studio?
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, man.
Some of the most important people in my life were there. That's the most important thing for me.
It was a pleasure for us as well, Mark. I'm glad you said that to us because we are pretty important.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking that as a comment on us.
Yeah.
I mean, not family, us. Speaking of family.
You came before my mum and dad. I was like, oh, glad Chris and Kevin are here.
Speaking of family, though, Mark's dad.
Yeah, Mark's dad's a legend.
Yeah, love Mark's dad.
Everyone said that. All you see is this baldy guy just sitting there dancing. And I was looking at him, I was like, Dad, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I thought he must have took speed or something on him. I was like, where's he get his energy from? But no, he's amazing, and he's a big. I think because my dad is so proud, because he's seen some rough cuts of the film. He's seen it before even before some of the reshoots. He's seen it before. Before the sound was mixed, before the grading come in, before the music. So he's seen it go at each stage, and for him, it's just like. It was kind of like a celebration for him because it's just he knows how hard I've worked on it as well and seeing the progress. So yeah, it was nice. It was and yeah, he is a legend. Everyone loved him.
Yeah, man. It was a pretty cool moment for me. I think I pointed it over to you because obviously I did some of the interviews before we came down, and Hector was in the bar with his mum, and he went over and he was speaking to Angela, and then this guy came over. Didn't know it was your dad at the time. And he comes over and he's going to Hector. He's like, I heard your podcast. You were amazing on that podcast. Really good interview and all that. And I'm sat there looking at Chris going, that was me.
That was us. There we go. And it's quite interesting actually, because Hector's such an intelligent young boy. He doesn't speak like the age that he does. He speaks like an older, mature, speaks older than me. You know, and I'm 30, but he's so well educated, and his mum and dad are so well bringing him up, and he's such an educated young man, and he's like with the podcast and stuff like that. He's very, very particular, and that's a good thing to have, because he can talk to you like an adult, and he can talk to you on a certain level. What's good?
He threw me off a wee bit, to be honest.
He did say that. Yeah, he said something to Kevin. Kevin went, huh?
But like,
and he's very well spoken. Oh gosh, he's
like you say though, like he is well spoken. But when I was asking him questions, and I sent him the questions beforehand and everything, but before he answered, like when we do these things, half the guys we speak to, like yourself, Mark, like some of the people we have on, they'll just kind of off the cuff answer and all that. And Hector, at the age he is just kind of like, he's really kind of thinking, right, I'm going to say this and it's going to blow his mind. and it did. He's like, I suppose what was it? The Stanislavski School of Acting? And I'm like, who's the what now?
He's podcasting you. There we go.
He had his own list of questions, I'm telling you. Yeah. I was nervous, but he did well. It was great.
Bless him.
I enjoyed that.
But yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm so knackered. I bet
you are, yeah.
It's been quite overwhelming for me, to be honest. I've because some of the feedback that I've had is just, I knew it was going to be decent. I don't mean it in an arrogant way. Like, I knew it was going to be quite a decent film, a good film. But some of the comments that I'm getting, I didn't expect it to be what people have been saying to me, and it's weird because I'm a first-time filmmaker. This is my first film, and for me to get them kind of compliments that I have been receiving, I don't want to kind of throw them out there because it's not about that. And at the end of the day, it's about how hard everyone works in the film. But yeah, it's just given me a lot of confidence to want to show more and give more. So yeah, but thank you so much. Thank you.
I bet, man. Seriously, man, this is 4.5, 5 years in the making. Like, I still can't believe that, and I don't mean to sound patronising or anything like that, but I still can't believe we were sat at BAFTA watching Homeless Ashes on the big screen after speaking to you for so long about this film, and it's like, dude, you got it made. Like, that in itself is a massive accomplishment, and then how good the movie actually was like, shit, like, not only did this guy get it made, but it's a cracking film.
Amazing. I'm glad that it went. I take it you two both liked it as well.
Oh yeah.
Chris hated it. We walked out and Chris was like, "Oh my god." No, he didn't.
It's like, I need a stiff drink after that.
to be fair,
we did need a stiff drink after that because it's not an easy watch.
It's not an easy watch. I mean, you some of the things in this movie. We knew about sort of the domestic abuse angle. We knew about the homeless angle. These are things that you've kind of advertised with us before, but there are things in there that it was like, shit, man, he's just went there and you dealt with it, like, not with kid gloves either. You dealt with it with, like, as you say, a first-time director. You were ballsy in this film. The choices you made here were ballsy, and I believe they all pretty much paid off.
I hope so. It's quite hard for me when I was directing. Obviously, I don't want to give no spoilers. No. Directing particular scenes to kind of go out of that director mode and go into the acting mode and come out the director mode, and it was a very kind of come and go kind of situation because there was a lot of people saying to me, look, you should get an assistant director, someone to direct you, someone to kind of even make sure that the shots are great. And I trusted Richard so much because me and Richard have worked together so many times on showreel short films, corporates. So Richard knows how I work. And normally I go behind the camera, check with Richard, talk to the actors first, and then I would have to just soak into Frankie. But it was so hard because I only had a certain amount of time to do that. I only had a certain amount of time because we only had a certain amount of time to get the scenes done.
Yeah.
So So kind of going in front and going behind, that was one thing that I was scared of, was, is my acting going to be as strong because of that? And I just went for the challenge. I just took it on, and like you said, it's taken 5 years, and I honestly say this, it was so worth it. It was so worth it because every single detail meant something. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't like quickly, like, we've got the funds, let's quickly go and film, and then you end up in a situation where you can't go back to it. If there was a mistake, I could always go, no, we're going to shoot this again. We're going to do it again. I'm going to raise the funds. We're going to get it right. And it's just I'm still processing it now, to be honest. I'm still processing it now as directing and acting, and seeing it now and hearing people's reactions is I'm just blown away. I'm so grateful for the amount of love and support that we've had as well behind it. And there has been when I was directing and producing and acting, so I was actually producing as well. Just clicked in. But there was a lot of people that were my mental rock. Like my partner, she was my mental rock, and my family were my mental rocks. My friends were my mental rocks. Like there's a lot of people that really kind of helped me stand up, because there's times where I just thought, I want to give up. I can't do this anymore. I'm mentally, emotionally drained.
Which is what I would have done.
Oh, I would totally do that.
I was so close to just pulling the plug, because I was just overwhelmed with it all, and it's like I don't know if I can do this. But something inside of me was saying to myself, Mark, you need to do this. You need to do this. You need to show people that this is 2019 and what people are capable of if they want to achieve something. You know, if you want to direct a movie, you can direct a movie. If you want to direct and star in a movie, you could direct and star in a movie. And guess what? You could produce it as well. And guess what? You could also crowdfund it, because there are these resources out there. And it is basically me trying to show not only about the film, but the making of the film process, the capability of what one person could do if they really, really, really say, I want to be an actor or I want to be this person. You can. It's about how much you're willing to push against that line, because people want things easy. And unfortunately, this world that we live in, tough things don't come easy. The best things do not come easy. And, you know, it was probably the biggest thing I've ever achieved in my life.
No, that's really inspirational. To anybody who's listening who is thinking, I would love to go and make a movie, and I've got an idea or whatever for a movie. I'd love to go and make it, but I've not been to, I've not done this course, or I've not gone to uni or anything like that. Stigma. And from what you're saying there, Mark, it's you've gone and done it. You've decided I'm going to do it, so I'm going to go and do it.
And it's even in a case of, when I haven't actually gone to school or film school to be a director. I haven't gone to film school to be a producer. I've gone drama school to be an actor. Yeah. And I just watched what people were doing in the industry, and I went, I can do this. I can learn this. I can learn on what they're doing and do this myself. And what I learned how to do is I took myself away for 6 months. And I went, right, I'm going to learn how to do social media marketing. I learned how to do social media marketing. And then I went, okay, I'm going to take the storm. Because we had people that wanted to give us money for the film. But then I would have lost a lot of creative choices. Yeah. We would have to give investors X, Y, Z amount of percent. And I just thought, you know what, I can do this. I know I can do this. And I crowdfunded the first one. We made 5,000. I went, I'm going to go again. And I made 10,000. So we had 15,000, and then we got another 6,000. I was like, okay, this is good. This is happening. We've got 80% of 20% of the money. I basically said to myself, and I went, we're going to shoot the first part of Frankie's life, the young Frankie, Hector. Yeah. And then when we shot that, I was like, I can't stop now. I can't stop here. And then I just kept going and even just crowdfunding, and 80% of the people that actually donated to the crowdfund. And I just want to say thank you if you are listening as well.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Thank you for donating. Thank you for supporting, because we could not have done this without these people that have. 80% of the people that did donate were not family and friends. They were actually people that supported this film, the topic. And we've not only just built people donating, we've got thousands and thousands of people that are waiting to see this film worldwide because they just believe in it. Like, oh my God, we can't wait. I've got people messaging me from India, Australia, Italy, Spain, Germany. Like all of these people want to see the film. And for me, that's like, wow, I'm ready to show you the film. So now I'm like, distributions. Hello. So yeah, and for me, that's just such an achievement because, you know, a lot of the time, some people would probably make a film, and I get it. You make a film and you get it out there, and then they forget about the marketing afterwards.
Yeah.
And the fact that I have I have a massive family ready to market this film for me and with me, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's a beautiful feeling. That's what I can't wait. I can't wait for the people that have donated to this film to watch it, and even people that have retweeted it and shared it and go, "Wow, Mark, thank you for sharing this film with me." And then life goes on to the next.
I think that's one of the...
I like that sentence.
Life goes on to the next.
On to the next.
Yeah. I mean, I've already had a cheeky little word with Mark, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
I see.
But yeah, it's like you say, though, this movie, this is why Chris and I fully got on board with what you were doing, Mark. I mean, to be perfectly honest, when we started speaking to you, I just wanted to speak to you because you were in the bill. Because I'm a huge fan of the bill.
You are.
So like I was like, dude's been in the bill. I'm going to speak to him. Like that's just what's going to happen.
Cream of the crop, man. Cream of the crop.
Cream of the British crop. Everybody's been in the bill. And then
was you that one that sent me the fan mail? 2001.
With a picture of my headshot. But yeah, you came on the show and you told us about Homeless Ashes, and instantly it's like, yeah, man, this guy's got a fire under his belly. He's got a story that he wants to tell. We were instantly hooked on what you were doing and where you were going with it. And then not only that, but you were all over my social media as well, like Twitter, Facebook, the crowdfunding, and it's just like, I don't know many guys, many directors that we've spoken to that have gone to the extents that you've gone to get this movie made, and like you say, act, produce, direct. You know, it is a hell of an achievement, and yeah, man, I'm blown away by it, and I can't wait to see what you do next, because if this is what you do, as Jamie said when we were down there, if this is what you've come up with in your first feature...
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, yeah, what comes next is going to be special.
I think sometimes I forget that. I forget that this is my first feature film.
Well, yeah, you will.
Because I think it kind of hit me when Jamie said that on stage, because I think with me and Richard, we've just been filming like loads of showreel, short films. So it's like, I feel like I've made a ton of stuff. Like, I didn't really, when I looked at it, I was like, actually, yeah, this is actually my debut feature film. Gosh, I've really ripped my insides out on this film. You know, and it was so important to try and make it perfect and try and make it the best I possibly could. And the thing is, I didn't want to come into this industry. I always believe in, you know, you've got one opportunity to come with such a big bang.
Yeah.
Or you can come with firecrackers. You've got two choices. Or you might come with fireworks. But I like to come in like an asteroid and bang and just blow things up. Because that's just how I am. I'm all or nothing. And I said to myself, all right, I'm not only just going to make this feature film, I'm going to find the best locations I can. I'm going to find, we've got Hasla Marina, such a fantastic location. Beautiful, beautiful people there, so supportive, made us feel welcome as a family as soon as we went down there. Then I said, I'm going to hire the fun fair, Carter's Fun Fair. Then I was like, we're gonna hire this abandoned shopping centre that we found. And then we got this place called Nomadic Gardens, and all the locations just built up. And what made it very beautiful is, you know, normally with a first-time director, and I advise it, any director that wants to make their first film, to not go crazy like that, because I nearly mentally destroyed myself. but you know, to kind of expand it to that kind of level, and then even with the cast that I had, was not just showing, because there's a lot of people that, how can I put this in the best words that I can? A lot of people are always told, with your first film, go easy, you know, cast 3 people, 2 locations, 3 locations, be safe. And I honestly advise people the opposite. Show the industry that you can go all in, because like if someone sees that, they're going to go, wow, if you could do this with that much money that you have or whatever you have, it's just going to expand the world that you create, I think, rather than trying to limitate it, because that's easy. Go hard. Like any filmmakers listening, if you want to go out and you want to film at a fun fair, ask, because you'll get it cheaper than what you think you would.
Yeah.
And that's what people are scared. They look at a script and go, oh, fun fair, or they go, oh, a marina. We got the marina. Sorry, like to expose this, but we got the marina complimentary because they wanted to support this film. They sponsored the film pretty much and said, look, we want to help you.
That's badass. That's badass.
That's great. It comes back to the topic as well, doesn't it? It's an important topic to people.
Yeah, big time.
And there was one bit of the movie. Again, we're going to avoid spoilers, but you touched on veterans, and that's a thing that's really, really important.
Yeah, I
to
knew
me.
that was going to get you.
Yeah. There's a moment kind of towards the end of the movie with the character who has been in the army, and he's dealing with a drunken arsehole, and we'll not say anything else, but that did, watching that bothered me, and watching the character struggle to contain his rage, watching that really did.
See, on that as well, like I was really glad the way that scene went. It's a tricky scene. Obviously, we're not gonna get into it, but it is a tricky scene. But in so many occasions, so many TV shows or movies or things like that, that scene tends to go a very different way to the way you went.
Oh yeah, the guy would turn it into Buffy or something.
Yeah, and you completely subverted my expectations with that one little scene on that character. I was kind of like, right, it's gonna happen, and then it didn't, and I was like, damn, and that's the realness of the scene, because that would happen. It's not like your big Hollywood movie where he would turn around and do whatever he does. He does exactly what would happen in real life, and I love the way he did that, because that many times I've seen that scene play out in so many different ways, but yours felt real, to me, and it was a great little scene, and I knew you'd love that scene.
And I think I know exactly what scene you're talking about, and this is one thing that was important when I directed this movie is I used a lot of my personal emotional intelligence in this film, of something that I was told a long time ago about internal and external. Now, internally, if I said to you guys, I love you, I think you're great, you're going to be like, oh, wow, exactly, there we go, straight away, I love you. You're great. If I turned around and said, I think you guys are idiots, then you're going to feel like, whoa, hang up.
We've heard that too, to be fair.
Yeah, but then again, you'll probably like that and drink on it as well. But if you do that with certain things, and when people internally take something in, even through screen, they externally feel it, and they know what's, like you said, you know what's coming, because that's what you want. But when you do the reverse, then you hit the unexpectations of what would actually really happen, because you want that to happen, but you know that's not going to happen. And when it doesn't happen, I know exactly. People are probably thinking, "What's going on? This is a minute. There's you guy, this guy, that guy reacted like this." But for me, it's to make sure that I made the right choices. The right choices that I realised if I could find one word with this film, it would be, from everything that I looked over, and I said this to my partner the other day, I said, the message is also just forgiveness.
Oh, yeah.
It's just forgiveness. It's second chance and forgiveness. And I think with that character that you're talking about as well, the reason why I gave him that choice is because he's had enough. Yeah. He's been there. He's done it. He doesn't want to do it no more. That's why he is where he is. He just wants to recover. And how Richie played that character, I was so proud of him. And I remember calling him. I said, look, Richie, I've got another scene for you. Because we actually put that in, because I was watching the film. I was like, something is missing. Something is missing. I really need to pull heartstrings and certain things. And it's quite interesting, because a lot of people have said to me as well, there's certain scenes that you can take out, there's certain scenes that you can keep in. And then there's people that are saying, you could leave this scene out, but then they're saying, I really like that scene, but then another person like yourself, Chris, is saying that scene really hits me, but that didn't hit someone else. And it's like, well, if that scene is 3-4 minutes extra in the film, but that touches 1,000 people, 100,000 people when this film's out, I'll keep that in.
Yeah.
Because it's there, because it is necessary. It might not be necessary to someone else, but it's going to be necessary to someone.
Well, yeah, that's it, isn't it?
And I think as well that's a topic, and it's out there. It does touch people, like you say, like the whole the veterans and being homeless and everything. It's a massive problem in this country. It certainly is. So I don't think you're just touching 1,000 people with that one story, that one beat. You're touching a far greater amount, and it's something that doesn't get talked about ever. To be fair. So the fact that you tackled it was like, yeah, man, hats off to you on that one as well.
Thank you.
But there was a few plot points like that it was like, he's going in on it, he's going in on it, he's going in on it, and I was kind of like, dude, he's going in on it. But that's a great thing, and that was Richie's performance. But we want to talk about some of the other performances in the movie, and I want to start with the highlight of this movie for me. Jamie May is absolutely incredible. Where did you find Jamie May? And wow.
She's the thing what I like about Jamie May is she's like my best friend.
Yeah.
She's my absolute best friend, and she has such star quality about her. And the actual role that she plays is actually kind of a true story with me and her.
She said that on stage, didn't she?
She alluded to it. Yeah.
And I was just, like she said, I was just there for her. I took her and I pulled her away from a very hard point in her life, and I'm so happy for her now. She's in such a great place. And I said to her, I'm going to write you into this film because I've seen her act, and she's not just a pretty face, you know. She's a woman that she uses her brain to get what she wants.
Mm.
Yeah, and she is very talented if she's given the right role. I think someone like Jamie, normally her roles that she'll be given, because it's a typical typecast, would be the pretty girl basically next to the man.
Yeah,
you know, the pretty girl that's basically going to make the man shine. What undermines her as a character, you know, and that's the kind of roles that she would probably be given because of her pretty looks. But for me, I didn't see that. I saw beyond that, and I knew Jamie because of her soul. I knew Jamie because of who she is as a person, and I knew that she's also been through a lot. And one thing that I find with actors that have been through a lot in life, that have had their struggles or anything like that, one thing they're very good at is tapping into those emotions.
They're drawing it.
And bringing those emotions forward and knowing how to actually play with those emotions. And her performance is authentic. And that's what I like about pretty much most of the acting through this whole film, is how everyone's acting is so raw and authentic. And that's what I wanted to say to everyone is, you know, don't overplay it, don't underdo it, just make it as natural as possible. You know, them small things, the small lookaways, the small like nose twitches or whatever you have, that's what's going to make it raw.
Jamie, like you say, I suppose you would draw on personal experience and that, but playing off Lou Temple as well, just the two of them were gold together. And
they were.
Playing along with yourself as well, obviously, like because you spend a big bulk of the movie with Jamie, but her relationship with Lou Temple as well. While I wasn't sure where it was going to go at certain points, I was kind of like, is he going to pull something up here? Is there going to be something that just completely sideswipes us? But the chemistry between the two of them is so endearing that you kind of just fall in love with the two of them. And Lou's great as well. But I wanted to highlight Jamie because I haven't really seen her in anything else, and she kind of blew my socks off a little bit. Yeah,
she's great. She was in The Royals.
Yeah.
Well, it's quite cool. She was in. I'll get you into a meeting with her as well. She'd love to come on the podcast, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Show off.
And she's like when I remember directing that's one scene on the roof, And Lou Temple is such a blessing to star with and even direct, because he's such a funny soul on set. And such a great energy, and what he does is he shares his creative input, what I really admire, because that's what I like, is I like sharing combination. It's not like, oh, this is my baby and I say what goes. It's like Lou would come in with his own personality to it. And he helped him and Jamie bouncing off. I remember shooting that on the roof, and I just looked at Richard and went, this is going to be such a powerful scene. And I knew why, because of the flashbacks and stuff like that. And I was like, this scene is going to be one of the biggest highlights maybe in the film, because you find out 2 reveals. Yeah. And just that combination. And it's quite funny, actually, and without giving any spoilers, but what I like to do is grab certain parts of certain films and combine them into one. So that scene on the roof where I had the whole combination of, you had Fritz playing the saxophone, and it kind of reminded me of The Simpsons with the guy from The Simpsons.
Oh, Bleeding Gums, yeah.
Always playing, and you could hear it echoing around the building. And then you had this nice little combination of these 2 homeless people just dancing in the background as well.
Yeah.
Like slow dancing together. And I thought, okay, this is a nice combination. And when they're all standing around the fire, it's kind of like the Rocky. When they kind of got to the fire and you got them people singing. That's the kind of feeling that I wanted to bring to this whole energy with these different combinations, and just seeing them both together on a close up, I was just like, this is magic. I was yeah.
And then again, without spoilers, but that flashback hits.
Oh yeah.
And you tore my soul out. That was
on the first one or the second one?
Both. The flashbacks to what happened with Lou. Oh my god, that absolutely tore my soul out. And the second one as well, with Hector in the slop house.
No spoilers.
Damn. And the camera work there, massive shout out to Richard Oakes. Obviously, you would have been a big input on that as well, but that camera work on that scene was bloody brilliant. But what happens in the house at Christmas time, you destroyed me. You destroyed me. and I was sitting there like, bastard.
Yeah.
He's did it.
I knew that Kev was going to go to pieces of that bit, to be honest.
Scenes like that, but because of like Jamie drawing on her own background, like some of my background as well, like that scene just punched me in the fucking nuts, to be honest. and I was just like, see, when I get in that bar later, he's getting a smack. But no, I held it together.
But you know what's quite interesting about, I could tell you the story about that day as well. We was quite fortunate, because the location that we had when we were shooting, I was like, this is the last day. It's going to be the easiest day. I was like, oh gosh. It was like, I wasn't in it anymore. I was like, I'm done. I'm wrapped pretty much. And I was like, right, like, here we go. And I remember when we had the first house and we couldn't shoot there. I don't want to kind of reveal why, because of personal reasons, but we couldn't shoot there. And I was like, so we all turned up to this house. We're like, we can't shoot here. And I was like, what do we do? I was like, that's it. This film's done. We can't do it. And then, lucky enough, my one of my assistants turned around to me and said, well, we can use my house. I was like, you sure? And next thing we know, we've gone from Essex all the way to Uxbridge to capture this scene. So it's quite a dramatic change. But when we shot that scene, everyone on set was just like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine.
Like, everyone's heart was in their stomach. So I was like, wow. Because Lou nailed that.
You know who I felt sorry for as well? When I stepped back from what had happened in the scene, and I took myself out a little bit, and you sort of put your critic's hat on, you're sort of like, you're looking at it as opposed to a film. I felt sorry for the guy in the scene with Lou, because man, he went for it.
Oh, he definitely.
And I was just like, you got to be a strong man right there. And I felt really sorry for that guy.
That was after 20 takes as well.
Oh.
Can you imagine?
But it's a hell of a powerful scene.
It's quite interesting, because one thing that I've enjoyed the most as well with the whole cinematography side of things is working with Richard, because when we work together, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of respect and time for Richard. And I remember the day before, we were sitting there. Was it the day before filming? It was probably about 4 days before shooting our big block. And we're just going there, sitting there, writing ideas of how we could shoot certain scenes. And me and Richard like the combination of doing this scene like the Fight Club. This is what I mean, grabbing some of the most awesome kind of inspirations, if you must say.
Yeah.
And we was really influenced by Paper Street in Fight Club.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, let's kind of get this kind of feeling. And then I had, me and Richard had the idea of kind of doing it in a one shot, and then he come up with the idea of turning, I don't want to say too much, but turning the camera, and then I was like, yeah, and then I said, and then he come up with the idea of flipping it back, and just working with that combination of the ideas, and we practiced it in his house. Said, okay, let's quickly practice it, see what it looks like. And just even seeing it, even just kind of messing about, using Craig as a little dummy, it was like, okay, let's just kind of see what it looks like. And then seeing how it turned out, I was like, this is going to look fantastic when we have the set. And when we got on set and we saw it, it was like, whoa, this is it. It was all like really exciting.
Yeah,
So,
it's a stunning moment.
But is that not one of those moments where you practice it, and you're like, right, I've got this down, and then you go to do it on the day, and you're like, how the hell are we actually going to do this?
The thing that I like, and the thing that I do really like when I'm on set directing, because I think it's part of just my dyslexia. When I'm in creative zone, my mind's kind of 1,000 miles an hour. And if I see something that's an opportunity to do something magical, then I will take that opportunity. And when we were shooting that, I did think to myself, oh gosh, okay, how are we going to get the lighting? How are we going to kind of like even with the sound, how are we going to boom it? How are we going to get the timing right? And when we done it the first time, it was actually, that's actually quite easy. Then you film it a second time, that was quite easy. And then when you film it third time, that's quite easy. And then when we can't, because we wanted to do it all in one shot, and then we realised, actually, hold on, the camera's a bit shaky on this point. It's a bit hard, and I think the hardest thing about shooting that scene is that we all felt like we were in an oven.
Yeah.
Because it was so bloody hot on the day that we're shooting in the summer. I think it's like the hottest day of the year in the UK. And I kid you not, everyone was just sweating and drinking. So I'm standing behind Richard, and he's feeling my sweat splash on him, and he's like, oh god, trying to turn the camera. But that was. I don't think there was a day that I got on set that we planned how to shoot something and we didn't think it was going to work. And even if it didn't work, me and Richard and even the team alone were very quick at problem solving. That's key one. I'm just going to say this right now. Any filmmakers that are listening, any directors, producers that are listening, every single day that you shoot your film, no matter how big your production is, you are going to have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
And no matter what, it's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem. It might be someone's choking on smoke or whatever it is. I don't know what reasons, but whatever reason it is, just go into the film set every single day. Just go on film set, expecting there to be a problem. But the key is to learn how to solve that problem straight away as soon as it does occur, no matter what it is.
Yeah, you take a step back and you figure out what you're going to do. Rather than flapping, you just take a step back.
It could be anything. It could be anything. Next thing you know, like you go to film, and like, for example, we got onto one film set and where we were shooting in Richmond, and next thing we know, there's like on the other side, they're also setting up a film set ready for tomorrow for a big thing. So we got all of this film equipment in our shot, and I'm thinking, we can't shoot that, and it's not even our equipment, so we can't tell them to move it. But they're the next day because they've done that. So it's just like, oh gosh, how do we get around this? So like we're kind of covering them with these big bags, and oh god, yeah, it's every day you're gonna end up with a problem. Every day.
See, I'd have been taking the equipment.
Exactly.
I'd have been like, you left it here, it's ours now. So yeah, there's numerous amazing performances in this film. Jamie's just one of them. Lou Temple, that's like when you said Lou Temple was going to be in the movie, I wasn't expecting him to be as big a role in the movie. He's in it. He's in it a lot.
Oh yeah.
and he's absolutely fantastic. Just the natural ability that he has, and you guys just played so well together. Like it kind of with you as like a first time director. I don't know if this was meant or anything like that, but it really to me felt like you're making this big serious movie, but at the same time I'm playing on screen with Lou Temple. This is awesome. Like, because Lou Temple's a big name, you know. Like, I've seen many films with him in The Walking Dead. He does all the Rob Zombie movies. He's just a cracking actor. And I got this sense in some scenes that you were just having fun with him, and you were just loving being on screen with him.
Lou's become a very good friend as well.
Yes,
he's become a very, very good friend.
You can tell as well. You can really tell on screen.
Yeah, and I remember when I first spoke to him actually, and it was on social media, Twitter, and I said, Lou, I said, you look great. I said, I'd love you to audition for my film. I just want to see what you deliver with this character. And he didn't. To be honest, he didn't even have to audition with being who he is, but he wanted to show it. He wanted to prove himself. Obviously, he wanted to show himself what he could do with the character. So it's quite interesting because a lot of the auditions that I was getting from people, and no disrespect to a lot of actors, but all the auditions that I was getting were very just one take, quick, in and out. And Lou, this creditable, established, beautiful actor and beautiful human being, turns around to me and gives me 10 audition pieces. And I was stunned. I was only expecting one video, and he'd done it in Irish. He'd done it in his normal accent. He'd done he wrote a little monologue of this character. I thought, I'm going to cast you no matter what here. Like, the dedication to this role. You're telling me that you want this role, and then we spoke. And then we come to an agreement of him playing the role of Chico, and to have him on set, and to star next to him and act, because he's pretty much the second lead. You know, he's pretty much the second lead in this film, and I felt so honoured to have such a beautiful, respected actor on the film set, and Lou Temple's character Chico gave the international feel to this film.
Yeah.
He gave the American appeal to this film. Not only did he give the American appeal to this film, but he also highlighted the homelessness of an American personality, how enthusiastic an American person is and the energy that they have. And he brought that beautiful energy of the humanity of the American side, if that makes sense. And he lifted that film. It's like the film was always kind of being... how can I put it? The film was always kind of like being dragged down. And Lou was the one that was trying...
Yeah.
to keep the energy, well, not even trying. He was the one that was lifting that energy up. He was the one that was saying, "No, we are like good people. We are here." You know, he's the one that was always positive in the film, and I love that about Chico's character. I love that, and he shines all the way through for me.
I think that's why you guys work really well. It's also to do with your characters as well. Like you say, he's constantly trying to big things up and push things up and lift the emotion, lift the levity in the movie. And then you've just got Frankie, who, again, no spoilers or anything, but he's just getting shat on.
Yeah.
Every turn he makes, and he's not a bad guy, he's a good guy, but every turn he makes, it just seems to be someone else. And most guys in the same, guys and girls in the same situation, just shitting on him. And then he turns on the next day and he's kicking about with Lou Temple, Chico, who's just like, "Come on, man," you know, like it's not all bad. And I'm sitting there watching it, going, "It is pretty bad, to be fair."
Well, let's have a dance, though.
and he's like, "There's a guy playing saxophone. Let's go and have a dance."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude." But that's why the two characters, and it's why you guys marry up so well in the movie together, because you kind of need that emotional support to lift you up, the rock and everything, and that's kind of what Chico was doing, and Chico's brilliant.
And Chico's such a people don't actually know this until now, I suppose, but people that actually are listening, Chico was my granddad's nickname.
Oh, nice. Oh.
And that's why I called him Chico. And my granddad was always like that. He was the one that was always positive in the family, always doing a lift up. So that kind of character is actually dedicated to him as well.
Oh, great.
Was quite a personal thing for me. There's a lot of things that are in this film that are quite personal to me, what people probably don't know. But yeah, that's what I wanted, because my granddad was a very generous man. He was very he never judged anyone, and I thought that was a great way to have this character represent homelessness in such a light that, you know, he's human. He's human. He shows that they are human, if that makes sense. Nothing. It's not all bad. Like, we're not bad people. Like, we're just unlucky. But, you know, I'm not going to let that destroy my humanity. That's what I love about Chico.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
So, the family, because I wanna talk about a certain Mr. Dean Maskell, because what a shit. Let's talk about the family. Young Frankie, the young version of your character, Hector Bateman. We've already touched on Hector. Oh my god, yeah, he was brilliant.
Hector's incredible.
Yeah. Like, there is some not easy scenes in this movie for a young guy to be, even if you're acting and just play in the role, not easy scenes to be part of. And
yeah,
I'm pretty amazed, because there's a lot of I don't want to be disparaging towards child actors, because they should really try and get into it, and they should get into acting and stuff. But there's a lot of child actors that you just don't believe, you know. Mm-hmm. That you just see them playing a role, and it's like, right, that's just a child actor playing a role. And I'm not being nasty towards them. That's just, you know, that's the way it comes across sometimes. And Hector does not come across that way. That whole opening sequence with the family, the parents, Hector, it's just really good. Like, I love that opening, that first kind of 15, 20 minutes.
Hector is he's going to be a star.
Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
He's already on that path. He's done, you know, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, the series. You know, he played the young Sherlock, and that kid. I remember when I saw his headshot when I was casting for Frankie, and I saw his headshot, and I remember sitting there going, "There's something about that kid. There's something about him." It's in his eyes, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to audition him. So I remember sending him an audition piece, and he absolutely nailed it. And I was like, this is the kid. I was like, maybe I should keep looking. But I was like, I knew in my gut feeling as soon as I saw his headshot. And then I met with him and his mum in Pret, I think it was, or Starbucks. And we sat down. And when I heard that kid speak to me, I wasn't talking to a kid.
Yeah.
I was talking to a kid that knew what he wanted. Mm-hmm. He was mature, because normally, like, you would meet some kid actors and they wouldn't be mature. They would be like running around on set or whinging a little bit, and that's fine. Kids be kids. Yeah. But Hector wasn't there. He was fully focused. And he turned around to me and said, "I want to play this role. I want to play this role." And he said, and do you know what? He reminded me of me when I was young. And for me, that was quite important, because he kind of, like, Hector really reminded me of me when I was his age, because I really wanted to be an actor, and I was so passionate, and like, that's why I haven't given up until this day. He reminded me a lot of me, and because of that, I knew that we could play each other and not ruin that kind of, or you would feel like young Frankie would be the older Frankie, because we had a lot of similarities with us. He's probably a better actor than me, to be honest, because he's brilliant. But we had a lot of similarities. And I just thought, okay, and I think it's so good that we actually filmed Hector's stuff at the beginning, because then I was able to watch Hector, and then I was able to try and grab Frankie's personality that he grabbed and make it him older still. Yeah. You know, just, I don't want to ruin things, but like, no. Hector's always picking at his food. And I kind of done that when I was at the trailer with Gavin. Yeah. You know, and it's try to make sure that I always had Frankie's personality in it. And Hector was brilliant. And him, Angela, and Dean playing off each other was magic in a room. They didn't feel like they were actors. They didn't feel like they've just met each other and they're acting. They had a lot of respect and a lot of love for each other. I made sure that I built that respect and love for each other on set before we went on. So I've done a day of rehearsal to make sure that there was that chemistry there. But the acting between them, I just allowed it to naturally mold together, you know. And anytime that there was, without any spoilers, anything that was intense, I made sure that Hector and Angela and Dean would all talk to each other just before and afterwards as well.
Yeah.
To know it was just all respect and love every single time on set with those guys. And they nailed it. They nailed it as a combination. You saw yourselves
that is some really good stuff.
Dean's incredible.
Yeah. The bit where they're sat as a family watching TV and you know, Hector's sat with his hands over his ears. Yeah, that's incredible.
Didn't like that. I didn't like that.
No.
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Like, I just the way the scene plays out. It just great scene. The way you did it. It looked fantastic. It was portrayed very well, but it just kind of For having just sat down in the cinema, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, and I think we took a lot of risks doing one shots as well sometimes. And the most important thing for me in that scene was to make sure that it wasn't about Dean and Angela in that scene.
No, not definitely.
It wasn't about them. It was about that some parents, touch wood, there's you know, this is something that actually happens, that when parents are arguing or things are happening in the family, you know, it doesn't matter, like kids are aware of this.
Yeah, good.
And it is about that awareness on Hector's face throughout that he could hear everything. You know, but it was in that household. Yeah. And that was important, that you saw every moment that Hector felt their way, because you would feel what Hector's feeling and you would sympathy for him.
Oh, you definitely did that.
Big time. And you get that, again, without spoilers or anything like that, seems to be a running theme. You get that scene where Hector does what he does, things go the way they go, and you get this this incredible sort of, as you say, one shot, like a continuous rotating shot of Hector going upstairs and then going into the kitchen, and then the camera goes into the living room, and then the camera follows Angela up the stairs, and I was just sitting there like, this was all one shot. This is like some David Fincher kind of I'm gonna follow what's going on, like, and it looks great, and then you kind of get the overhead shot of Hector again, and it's like, man, like that was
and then it went into the, like, sort of closing in on the washing machine.
Yeah, you love that.
That you know what? That actually, I don't know why that stuck with me. That I was thinking about that scene for days. Just
that was Richard. I've got to give credit to Richard. That was Richard's input on that creative idea, and that's why I like Richard. He comes with very smart ideas. He's a very, very clever man. And with the combination of me and him working together, we always try and find the best out of the scene as well. And I remember when we had that scene, that one shot that you was just talking about there as well. What's quite funny about that is I remember sitting there the day before thinking, how am I going to shoot this scene? Because on the paper it's like 10 scenes. I was like, gosh, we're not going to be able to shoot this in the one day. I was like, we're not going to be able to do it. So I thought, okay, how can I shoot this all in one go? So I draw a map of how to actually shoot this, and then I remember going on set, I was like, right guys, I've just built up this thing, we're going to choreograph this. Basically, here's a map of what's going to happen, and I drew it on a board to Angela and Hector and Dean, and then we kind of choreographed it a few times, and Richard was like, okay, this was the moment that Richard had to use most of his energy running around the house to do this shot, so he hated me after. But it's just like, I thought, and then when I looked at it after, I was like, I'm glad that I'd done the shot because it looks amazing.
It does.
Oh yeah.
I was like, gosh, I was like, this looks really cool. I didn't mean to do it, but I was like, the reason why I kind of chose that creative shot as well, And then I realised, actually, no, these one-shots are quite beautiful. And that became quite an inspiration throughout the whole film as well. Capturing some of these one-shots, like, for example, when we said about the camera going upside down and having that whole one-shot there, you know, these things are great. And even with Frankie, when he reunites with his mum, you know, at the end, and when he's sitting at the dinner table, you know, without any spoilers, but all of that is actually one shot. Yeah, it's not actually cut. You know, so we took a lot of risks in that. So yeah, the thing that I loved about Dean in this scene is I really pushed him. I really sat there and said, you know, we it's not about just being over the top with things and it's about the manipulation side of things. Yeah. You know, because this is a lot of things that people can relate to, and it is in a way it's kind of like a trigger. For probably a lot of people, but that's why we have to have probably a whole list of trigger warnings at the beginning of the film. But I'm really proud of Dean on that performance.
He's proud. He's very proud of the role, because I've spoken to him since having seen the movie, sort of over Facebook Messenger and text and stuff like that. And he keeps on saying, he's like, but seriously, what did you think? How did you think I played the role? And it was kind of like, dude, he knows he nailed this part, and he wants to know that people feel like he nailed it, and it's quite cool. Like, because he does put in a powerful performance.
Oh, he does. Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, I mean, like, you can be proud of a role of a guy who is
a dirtbag,
a bit of a wrong'un. Yeah.
I did say.
I think that's one thing that I do like with Dean as well, and with a lot of my actors, if I'm honest, is because I actually come from an acting background. That's my background, acting. Yeah. You know, from the start of my career, is with this what I liked about the director's side of things is I could understand the actors a lot more. I understood their frustrations. I understood what they wanted to achieve in the roles. Because if I was in their shoes, it's like, you know, sometimes with directors that haven't got acting experience, it's like they don't get what an actor. They could get a beautiful shot, but if they don't understand what an actor wants or what they want to try and achieve, you know, normally you'd kind of sit there and go, oh, are they a good actor? But for me, it's like, I know that I can get you there, and how am I going to get you there? And I think that's what Dean never experienced with me, because he always knew me as like Marc Zammit and stuff like that. But when he saw me on that side, and I was like, Dean, you know, this is, I understand what you want to achieve from this. And I think Dean appreciated that. So when he kind of walked away and he looked at what he's done, he was proud.
Oh yeah,
he's really proud because it wasn't, because Dean has always been cast as the hard nut guy, the guy that's always because he's from probably Essex, maybe the hooligan and things like that. That's not Dean.
Nah.
I look at it, I go, Dean, that's not your character. That's not you. People are just typecasting you as that because that's what they see you as. But like when I look at you, there's so many potential roles that you could play, and this was one of them. You know, something that he can really get his teeth into.
He definitely did that.
He does keep asking. he does keep asking me though. It's like on the night when he came over from the bar when he first bumped into us. He's like, lads, what do you think? What do you think? Like straight over to us and like, what did you think? And we're like saying to him, yeah, man, great film. You put in a stunning performance.
I think I called him a bastard.
You did a little bit. And then about half an hour later, I go to the toilet and he kind of jumped me in the toilet and he was like, so seriously, what did you think? And I'm like, dude, I literally just told you upstairs. And then he's like texted me like 2 days ago and he's like, so you've had a couple of days to digest. What did you think? I'm like, dude, I fucking told you twice.
That's just actors for you.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
directors.
It is pretty cool, but I do feel like messaging them saying, right, I'm going to have to tell you the truth now. But, Mark, the movie, this has been a long time for you. What's next for Homeless Ashes? You've finished the movie. You mentioned earlier about maybe like some re-edits kind of thing. I know you're heading to. You're going to Cannes soon.
I'm going Friday.
Yeah, you've got a screening over in Cannes, which again is phenomenal. You know, for a first-time director who's really pushed everything himself to even get there is like, man, that's an achievement in itself. Again, what's next? What's next for Homeless Ashes?
So I spoke to Craig, who's editing with me. We're meeting on the 22nd or 23rd because at the moment he's filming Hosts. And big shout out to those guys. I know that they're working extremely hard, and I've heard nothing but good things. So me and Craig are gonna hit the edit room. There's some things that I've decided that I'm gonna kind of shorten and take out to make it more fluent and make it more flow better. We've actually been offered quite a few distribution deals.
Nice.
Even when we was filming, but I don't like the thought of throwing my eggs all in one basket before I even know what I have. So I've kind of said no to a lot of those deals. And we've had worldwide offers. We've had American, North America, and Northern America, UK even, and Europe. But I want to take it to Cannes, and I want to take it to a lot of other film festivals to understand what we have on our hands. Because without kind of, maybe there is, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any other films out there like this that really touch on homelessness and on this kind of topic. I don't think there is. The only film that I can think of is films like I Daniel Blake. I suppose, but is it Rez? There's another one called not Rez. Kez.
Oh yeah, but that's ancient now.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, you know, there's not many films that I think. So I really want to know what I've got on my hands before this and take it around that film festival market, and hopefully we sell the film, and I'm sure that we will, because we've got a great scene behind us and aim for a worldwide release. And the great thing about this film is hopefully going to help us make the next one. And what's next is I've got while I was working on Homeless Ashes, I was trying to be ahead of myself. So I've got 4 films in development. I've got 4 films that are in development that are pretty much ready to go. One's called Trunk. What is the best way that I can put these films, rather than giving you the whole breakdown, that's a slash between Blood Diamond, Tears of Sun, slash Free Willy. So that's I know it sounds weird. But
that is
awesome. Your poster right there, Mark.
Blood Diamond meets Free Willy.
It's the best way that I can put it. What I mean by Free Willy is like we're going to hopefully be using a real animal, real elephant, and the whole kind of relationship between the person and the lead actress and the animal. I'm
going to cry at that, aren't I?
Yeah, you're going to cry.
Yeah. I'm going to cry at that one. Yeah.
I love making people cry. Sitting Under the Chestnut Tree is a slash between Rain Man slash Of Mice of Men.
Nice.
What I'm looking really forward to, actually. I think that's going to be a great shoot. We're hoping to film that in America, and I hope that I can film that next year. We also have Big Bounty, What's a Western. Lou Temple's already said that he wants to be in that.
This is the one you've told us about at MCM, and this is one that I'm like, I want to see what you do with this.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing this. The best way that I can put it, this is going to be like a Western slash The Matrix. Well, I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Awesome.
I know. I like mixing the different combinations up, so it's pretty cool. And what else do I have? I'm trying to make sure I haven't missed any out. Big Bounty, Sitting Under a Chestnut Tree, and I have one called Speaking Out. What's a new idea, but I'm not too sure when I'm going to do this. But yeah, in a nutshell, there's one film that I've got that's a thriller that we're potentially going to be shooting in October. Just speaking to my executive producers that may be on this film. I don't want to give too much of that away yet.
Yeah.
But if everything goes what is planned, we're going to be shooting that in Malta in October.
Awesome.
So yeah,
busy man.
And so, are you back in the director's chair for all of these?
I am. I want to direct all of them. Yeah.
And are you putting in an acting role as well, or?
I don't know if I'm going to act in them.
You know you will. You know you will.
I probably will have like a small cameo. Like if there's something like with like one of the lead actresses or lead actors that I think are really awesome to star against.
It's like holy shit, with Scott Tom Cruise and I'm doing a scene.
I think I want to make sure that I choose the right casting for this.
Definitely,
I don't want to just put myself in it in it for the sake of it. I think it'll be nice to kind of maybe do 2 films and actually sit in the back chair and actually fully focus into the directing. And I think I'll get joys out of that as well. If I do star in one of them, that's fine. But I've got my agents that are pretty much going to be like put me out there for the acting side of things. So we'll see. So you're
still going to be pushing the acting as well.
Yeah, I just love being creative. If I'm just out there acting, directing, producing, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. And there's so many things going on at the minute, and there's so many people that want to work with my team because I've got Scarlet Vision as well. So there's a lot of people that want to kind of work with us, and I'm now getting investors showing interest because of Homeless Ashes. So I think once this is in the festivals and things like that, we're going to have people that will want to probably work with us, hopefully, touch wood.
I can see it coming, man, because this movie has been a labour of love, and it is a movie that you are in just about every scene. You know, it can't be easy to be an actor and a director, especially given the scenes you're putting yourself in. I mean, there's a few scenes you could name off the top of your head that is like, Jesus, man, like, not only is he acting there, but he's having to, like, change roles and direct and sort of... Yeah, people are going to see what you're capable of when they get around to seeing Homeless Ashes and you get it out there, and I'm sure it's going to do well at Cannes, and everybody's going to... Yeah, I think you'll be beating them off with a shitty stick after this.
Thank you. Can I ask you guys personally as well, like, if you could describe this film in one way, or kind of say what you think of the film in one way, what kind of sentence would you describe, or...
Oh wow!
Well, not sentence, but say like how would you portray it? Like, what would you tell people about this film in one sentence, if you could, or 2 sentences? Like, and what you personally think, what you feel about the film? For me,
it's Schindler's List meets Clueless.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I was trying to Marc Zammit there.
It's Back to the Future /
No, Chris, you can go because you're way better with words than I am.
Okay.
I'll end up messing this up.
Let's think. I would say, so it is a hard-hitting story of a kid whose life is turned upside down through, an event that occurs. And it's the kid's story of becoming a kid into a man, and the man's survival on the streets.
Yeah, survival being the main thing. I'm honestly, Mark, on a personal standpoint, there are certain things in this movie that I don't know if I was expecting to see it going in. Because I kind of knew...
Is that a euphemism, Kevin?
No.
All right, okay. But like, we're thinking about the same scene here, right?
Yeah, but that was different. Right. But like I didn't fully know. I knew you were dealing with homelessness, and I knew you were dealing with domestic abuse. And there's certain things in the movie that you touch on and that you go into that, without going into any great detail, like, have affected aspects of my life. So when it happened, it's like, yeah, man, like I said before, you kicked me in the nuts, basically. But this is like a deep, dark dive into some actual realism that we need to be talking about, and people need to see this film. They need to get onto it, and they need to watch it, because you didn't shy away from anything. Where I think a lot of guys and a lot of directors, especially, as Jamie said, your first directorial kind of feature film, they would have went there, but they wouldn't have went there, if you know what I mean. And you just clearly went there. You were like, if I'm doing it, I'm doing it, and I'm going to make sure we shine a light on it, and I'm going to make sure that people know what we're talking about. And yeah, you didn't shy away from anything, so it's an important piece that I think people need to see. And
that's the important thing, that it shines light on homelessness and even domestic violence and even other topics as well.
Oh yeah, other topics.
Yeah. And what do you think of the film overall as well?
It's a cracking piece, man. You've done a really good job with this film. You've done an excellent job considering it's a 4.5 year labour of love. Like, it looks fantastic. You know, shout out to Richard on that. The performances are brilliant throughout. There's some really, really great standout performances. I think I've already touched on the ones I like.
Yeah.
For your first movie, man, my hat's off to you.
Cheers, man. Can I take the hat as well?
You take the hat and wear it with pride. By the way, it's got 365 Flicks podcast on it.
Send the man a hat.
When we do our next film, you're more than welcome to come on set.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You want to be hella proud of yourself, man. You've done a cracking job here, and to be crowdfunding block by block and going through it the way you did it, you haven't done it the easy way. You really haven't. But every piece of passion and love that you've had for this project, it's up on the screen.
And I have to say one thing before obviously the podcast ends. I'm proud of. I could not have done it without the people that were involved. It was not me. It was not just me. You know, is the actors, the cast, the crew. If you want to get something done and you want to make it good, you need a powerhouse. You need a team and a labor of love, like you said, on that team. It just needs to be. The energy needs to be up there, and the love needs to be up there. And that's what it was every day on set. It was just full of love, respect, and care. And I couldn't have done that without all the people that were involved. It was a dream team, you know. And a lot of people say a dream team, but this was a dream team. I couldn't have done it without them.
Again, it comes back to the subject matter, doesn't it? It's a thing that we don't talk about enough, and I think that you could tell that everybody who was on screen and what have you, they were in it. You know, they were in it for the long haul with you, Mark, and you know that they wanted to act their socks off for you, and you could certainly tell that. You know. Yeah,
and they all did me so proud. They really did.
Yeah.
Everyone done me proud. Everyone involved.
You've done yourself proud, man. Don't sell yourself short. I know you're bigging up every member of your team, but you've done yourself proud as well, big time. So, give yourself a pat on the back, because you are literally in most of this film, and you're great in it as well, you know? So you need to be patting yourself on the back as well, not just the team around you.
Yeah. I've got a lot of posters and mugs to post now because of all my backers. So my house is just piled up with posters, mugs, and I get the joy of posting it because it's like every single person that donated. And I want to have this opportunity, if anyone is listening, if you did donate, even retweet, I am forever grateful, and you made this happen. Whether it's £1, £2, or £100.
It is pretty cool as well because obviously when I've been putting the episodes out and when I've put like pictures up and everything, I get the odd retweet as well from like people I don't know, and obviously the people that have backed the movie, and then they'll quote a little comment and all that, so I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see the film and all that. And I'm like, sweet, did you listen to the podcast? Because that's another download.
They're like, no, I didn't, but I will retweet it.
But no, it's cool. We're feeling some love from it as well, so it's cool. It's cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, you should be proud, man. You really should.
Thank you so much. I'm proud of your Spider-Man shirt as well.
Oh,
T-shirt.
Thank you.
It's all right. I've got Power Rangers top on. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, you got a Power Rangers one, haven't you?
Yeah, man. I love Power Rangers.
Man.
The Green and White Ranger.
Your one's better, Chris.
Thank you. I know, all right.
Well, that's your episode of the bill getting deleted off my Skybox. I've been keeping it so I can watch it again, but not anymore. So I'm a bit too obsessed with the bill, right?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Okay. Mark, thank you so much for coming on. This is going to make a great episode. I'm really glad we got to talk about the movie and go into it. We've not done any spoilers. Well, we've done a couple.
I can cut them out.
I'll cut some things out. But it's been great to speak to you, and I can't wait to see what this movie does in the future, because I think it has a future. It definitely does.
Thank you so much. Back in the edit room for me with Craig.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We'll get you back to your regularly scheduled podcast in just a minute. But we wanted to introduce ourselves. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake on this highly produced advertisement.
That's right. It's the History of Bad Ideas, a.k.a. Hobie. You can find us on Twitter at Bad Ideas Podcast and on Facebook at The History of Bad Ideas. But if you like a podcast roundtable with 3 to 5 guests, usually every week, depending on sick leave, talking about all things geek, including movies, TV,
I ain't getting paid for this shit.
Blake bitching about something and ranting, and comic books and anything else that we can think of. We have a top 5 list every week, along with a box office news, and somehow we have listeners, so they send us some feedback we answer every week. You can find us on iTunes,
Stitcher,
Facebook.
Spotify,
and any good podcast app, because if you can't find us on that podcast app, it's not a good podcast app.
damn straight. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
So yeah,
That was Mark.
yeah. Kind of felt a bit put on the spot with the if you had to sum up the movie in 2 sentences.
I nailed it.
You did nail it. You did nail it. And then I just went all like full like
Retard.
full mental. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we really appreciate being invited down to London to see the movie. Especially to experience it in amongst the guys who made it.
Yeah.
Like that's some special ass shit. Like to be in amongst all those guys who are part of the movie, and who are we? We're just like 2 lads who like interviewed some of them, you know, we've been talking about it for a while, we've been following it for a while. And then we get invited to sit in with them and watch their passion project. Which is kind
It's
of
pretty goddamn good.
pretty surreal moment.
Yeah.
Baller though. And remember, there are such things now in London as only card bars. Baller, I'm baller.
You're balling.
I'm balling. I'm like
Don't be such a prick.
I'm like the Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I'm a baller. But yeah, that was awesome. We really want people to see this movie and get it done, and hopefully it'll be out soon. Hopefully, it looks like it's possibly going to be like maybe later on this year, early next year, and people are going to get to see it.
Yeah.
About damn time too.
I'm not speaking to you anymore because you said baller.
Shut up. But yeah, thanks again, Marc Zammit, for coming on the show and getting that done. That was an awesome little chat, and we shall see you all later.
Yaha. Baller.
Baller. It's a thing. People say baller. Like, oh man, that's dope. That's baller.
No one says either.
God, you're so old.
You're such a